What's up, everybody? It's The Roar. And here I am at Ossian Hall Park in Annandale, Virginia. And there's a little bit of interesting history that happened here on these grounds. Right now, as you can see, it's a park. They built baseball fields. They got a football field on the other side, which was not like this just, 5 or 10 years ago. They just recently added all this. But what's cool about this park is back in the 1700s and all the way through to the 1940s, there was a plantation here that was once owned by families such as the Fitzews and the Custis Stewart family, and even a politician from Kansas passed away on this property. It was all right here. Supposedly, there are cornerstones still visible about where the mansion once stood. But right here on this property is where all that happened. It's really cool because when I was looking up history on it, I knew this existed for a while, and I knew the family that owned it. Take that back. Didn't know the family that owned it. Heard of the family. The family has a very rich history in Northern Virginia. Because the family that owned it was really big in politics in the 1700s. The Fitzews were William Fitzew had 3 mansions, 3 plantations, all within 10 to 15 miles of each other, very close. And then a 4th one in Fredericksburg. So he was very well known in Virginia. He was also one of the first members of the Continental Congress. And what's really cool, look at this. It has trails in it. It's pretty awesome. Being in high school, right across the street is the high school I went to. So I kind of grew up in this area. And we used to come down through here. Used to hike. I used to bring my dog down here and walk them. It's a really cool park. And in my lifetime, it has always been a park. I've never once seen the mansion itself, because I believe the mansion was built the mansion was built in like the 1770s, and the Annandale Fire Department actually burned it down in 1940s or 50s so they can make way for whatever the transition was into. And at that time, the county, I guess, was talking about building a high school. So across the street is Annandale. It's where the high school that I went to. And I think they finally settled on that location. But that whole property over there, all the way out to here, were owned, or was all part of the mansion, or the plantation that was here. And supposedly, George Washington was even on these grounds. Well, Fitzew, I believe, summoned for him during the American Revolutionary War, and he rode up through here when the mansion was here. So there was a lot of rich history, and no one knows this. The only thing I saw on it were articles through the county, but there's no plaque on there. It's kind of upsetting that history like that is just, it's disappearing, But that's kind of what I do with these vlogs, is bring history to life and show people what used to be here and everything else. So it's really cool. But yeah, this is all new, actually. These trails, I knew this trail used to be a dirt trail. You see this? And all this? This was all a giant dirt trail going down into the woods. But now it looks like they paved it all over and made it a little bit modern. That's one of the things the county's doing now, is they are paving our trails for some reason. I don't know. I think it's kind of dumb. But who am I to argue? Kind of enjoy just seeing the dirt and wooded areas. But also, I wanted to share with you the politician that passed away here. His name was, I know his last name was Bristow. Senator Bristow. He's from Kansas. And apparently he was the last occupant of this property before the fire department burned it down in a training exercise and to make way for whatever was planned there, I guess. I don't know. But I am actually here where I believe should the cornerstone of the mansion once stood. So we're going to do a quick loop, because supposedly there are remnants of it. But since then they have done construction. Kind of remember it being on this side of the trail. But I don't see it. I hope one day, or I hope the county will one day resurrect a sign talking about Ossian Hall. Be kind of cool to keep this history here. Kind of cool to learn about it. And let's go around once more. Let's go up here and see if we can find it. I'm just peering into the woods here. Look. See this area? Well, there's a baseball field right there. So, I don't know if that's where the house would have stood, but I did hear that it was like on a hill. When you see photographs, I'll show you photographs of it. I'll post it at the end of the vlog. The mansion sits on a hill, and that's where I'm at right now. Back in the day, this road was coming up an incline, and this section was a hill. And I believe, judging on the pictures, the house was facing out towards this area. And the side would be over here. So I do not see a cornerstone. Maybe it got preserved, or the county took it to save it. It's kind of cool. Same with the Ravensworth plantation, which I am still trying to find. But that is a hike into the woods to try to find it. So I'm going to be doing that very soon. It's like in the middle of a park, supposedly. But I've since grown over. But the Ravensworth plantation was also run by the Fitzhugh and sold off later. But now there's nothing there. Supposedly, that was also burned down by the fire department in an exercise. But from what I understand, again, the cornerstone remains. So I will try to find that in an upcoming vlog. And sorry I could not find it now. Oh, look at that. Hey, is that it? No. It's a tree. Looked like a stone at first. Alright, guys. Thanks for joining me. I will post it on YouTube tonight. And I will also post a history about Ossian Hall. See you later. Bye.